pieces here. Oh, I might as well just go ahead and take one of these for me. Okay, so on the first one, we're going to be doing a French seam. Okay, which does everyone know what a French seam is, basically? Would somebody like to tell the people who don't know what's a French seam?
Sure. It is where you sew with the fabric right sides out, so like you're seeing it. So you sew, and then you make sure it's nice and trimmed, and you flip it, and you sew again, so that all of your extra threads are enclosed.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for shears because it makes a nice clean line.
Yeah, exactly. It's a seam where all the raw edges are encased or enclosed within the seam construction. So it's a seam that you have to sew twice in order to finish it. Okay, which I'll be demoing how to do today. So when you're making your French seam, obviously we're going to want to work with a sheer fabric. Okay, this is silk organza. Okay, and the beauty of silk organza is you can cut it exactly like you've been doing the muslin. Okay, so you can snip and tear it to the size, which is 10 by 4 inches. Just make certain that when you're done, give it a really good press, because as you can see, the problem with the silk is that it really has a tendency to want to kind of like seize up where you tear it. The other thing that you need to do when actually have more pieces. Is it yours?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so what you also have in your little collection, yes, there you go. Should also have a piece of this. This is just regular old tissue paper. If you ever want to buy tissue paper, I highly recommend Target. Okay, because they usually have it really, really cheap. Okay, so I'm going to just come here and find my tools. Because again, like I said, I'm a little all over the place today. Too much time at Disneyland this year, just so I will just say that. Is there ever too much time at Disneyland?
No.
I don't, Alexa, what does Alexa say about that? Is there ever too much time at Disneyland?
What's my favorite what?
At Disneyland? Is there ever spending too much time there?
Oh my god, I spent way too much.
Let's see, there we go. Okay,
I
so
went twice in the first 2 weeks I was here.
did you really? Okay, I was there last weekend, not this past one, weekend before last. I was there 4 days.
Oh my god.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I was actually there this last Sunday. So it's like, oh, I haven't been there in a week. I gotta go, right? Okay, so where's that? Where's those instructions that I can't remember anything like that? So we want to cut ourselves a piece of tissue paper, which I don't really need to show you how to cut tissue paper, but I'm just going to cut it because I'm going to need it for the sample. So I might as well just use my rotary cutter for this. Have you guys ever used rotary cutters?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, they're really great. They're absolutely really great. You just want to be very careful. You just want to just glide it through. Maybe I'll show how it actually cuts on fabric after I do this little cutting demo. Stop.
So can you use on fabric and paper?
Yeah, actually, you can use it on that, but you have to realize that when you use this on linen, cotton, and paper, it dulls the blade. Okay. Sometimes I use this on silk. I prefer a standard, not these, but my really nice gamer shears. I prefer silk on that. These are actually my wool shears. Okay. I actually have a tendency to have different shears for different fibers. Okay, this works good works well on synthetics too as well. But I will tell you that if you cut a lot of anything with lycra or spandex in it, you really have to change the blades a lot, because the synthetic fibers along with the synthetic rubbers are really damaging to the blade. There are sharpeners for them, but every time you sharpen it, it's not going to be quite as good. So, okay, so the one thing you're going to do is, now that you have that done, you're going to go ahead right here and you're going to draw a 1/4 inch stitching line. Okay, so that prepares that to go into the sewing process. Okay. trying to remember where I put actually all
These
of
things.
those things right there, right there. But I'll talk about that in just a moment. I don't have to talk about those right now because I'm really just talking about the cutting process of everything right now while we're here at the table. Okay, so then what you're going to have next is you're going to have this fabric here. Okay, this is a nice upholstery cotton. Okay, that I think might have a little synthetic in it. So this you cannot tear, okay? Because it can tear this way, so you can do it that way. But in terms of the cross, yeah, or in terms of the length or the grain of the fabric, it doesn't tear that way. It'll be such a mess. So you just want to come here. We'll measure out 4 inches, make certain I've got it. That. Do another 4 inches like that. Now you can just freehand rotary cutter like that. Ooh, the blade's pretty good. But sometimes you have to do stuff like that. If ever you want a really nice crisp edge, straight edge on a rotary cutter, like you really want something perfectly straight, you can kind of come here. Okay. Just like that. Okay, so those are 4 inches. All right. I do feel like I'm cooking right now. Martha Stewart would have a ruler out by now, wouldn't she? I've seen her show. Yes, she would. Okay, so it needs to be 10 inches, right? And there's 10 inches like that. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and stack them and cut them like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so those would be ready to go ahead and sew. Then that means I have to cut some for someone else. But I know I have extra somewhere over there. Now, let's talk about cutting the stripes and the plaids, because that's where we start to get into